Good morning, Wabash. Speaking today at Pioneer Chapel will be Jacob Ramirez, Jonathan Arturo Gonzalez. And Alejandro Maya with their talk. With their talk titled La Alianza Chapel Talk. Jacob is a junior majoring in biology and minoring in history from Alamo, Texas. He is also a proud brother of Tau Kappa Epsilon. On campus, he serves as the current president of La Alianza, freshman orientation mentor, secretary for the Environmental Concerns Committee, and is a member of the Sons of Wabash. He enjoys meaningful conversations and spending time with his fraternity brothers, hermanos in La Alianza, and his newly found Rhine brothers. His talk, titled A Reflection of Our Struggles, centers around overcoming personal endeavors and realizing your capabilities regardless of what others say. After Wabash, Jacob plans to enroll in a graduate program to earn his Doctor of Physical Therapy. Jonathan is a brother of Phi Delta Theta and a member of the Sphinx Club, La Alianza, the Malcolm X Institute of Black Studies, embodying a commitment to excellence in both his academic and extracurricular pursuits. With his involvement in the campus community, Jonathan promotes the spirit of service and leadership. In his upcoming speech titled Engagement, Success, and Belonging, Jonathan will undoubtedly share insights born from his diverse experiences, advocating for the transformative power of active engagement, the pursuit of success, and the importance of fostering a sense of belonging within our academic and personal journeys. Finally, we have Alejandro Maya, class of 13. He currently serves as a learning design consultant with LinkedIn in Chicago, Illinois. While at Wabash, he majored in history and has recently earned his Master's of Science in Organizational Performance and Workplace Learning from Boise State University. While at Wabash, he was a brother of Theta Delta Chi, a member of the Malcolm X Institute, Sons of Wabash, and was most known for his involvement in La Alianza. Let's give a warm welcome to our speakers.
Buenos dias, Wabash. It means a lot to be up here today. A big thank you to the Sphinx Club for giving me the opportunity to speak today. And a big thank you to my brothers at TEAC, hermanos en la Alianza, and my fellow Rhine brothers. Most of all, I'd like to thank the man behind me, Jonathan Gonzalez. If it wasn't for his strong leadership in La Alianza, I wouldn't be standing here right now. And La Alianza itself would not be the strong organization it is today. Now, I contemplated the many topics I could discuss this morning, and I thought to myself, why not go back to my roots first? Texas, born and raised, and I have to say, I love the heat. It doesn't get any better than weeks of never dropping below 100 degrees during the summer, and rarely dropping below 50 in the winter. So when the leaves in the arboretum begin to fall, and I get chills every morning, I know it's just about time to start double layering. So just imagine the feeling I get when I'm walking across the mall, shivering with 2 jackets on, and I see students walking to class in shorts and a hoodie. Now that is a fortitude I aspire to have. Now, as I mentioned, I come from South Texas, a good 40 minutes from the border with Mexico. And back home, I grew up speaking both English and Spanish at the same time, something we like to call Spanglish. And it's back home where I grew up, surrounded by Hispanics, always seeing individuals of the same skin tone, and always speaking Spanish with family and friends. So it was a big cultural shock when I arrived in Crawfordsville, far from home and unfamiliar with the new environment, where I was suddenly the minority and didn't have the opportunity to speak Spanish on a consistent basis. It was also bothersome that I was no longer the tallest one out in public. But such a pivot away from what I was accustomed to all my life left me filled with unease, unsure of what these next 4 years had in store for me and how I would navigate my time here. Something I'm sure all the freshmen in the room can resonate with. The thing is, Wabash may seem daunting at first, but look past that, and you quickly realize there's something here at Wabash that you don't come across in many other colleges: the student body unity. Whether it be Greek life or independent living, every living unit is filled with Wabash brothers, open to sitting down and having a genuine conversation with you. Look further, and you find there are many organizations on campus where you can feel right at home. For me, that was La Alianza. I quickly found myself a home away from home where I could freely express my Hispanic roots. And it's thanks to La Alianza that I've gained the needed confidence and the reason I stand in front of all of you today. Now, as we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, I stand up here not to go on a ramble, but rather offer a reminder. The capability of a person is not limited by the color of their skin, but the effort they put into their work. As our college counselors told us in high school, college isn't easy, and Wabash itself requires you to work diligently for your grade. But every single one of you is here for a reason, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Now, I'd like to ask a favor from all of you today. Go ahead and look at the individual sitting next to you. Genuinely, look at the person sitting next to you, and as you do so, think to yourself and ponder, how much work and dedication has this person tirelessly put into their goals? How much has this person struggled and gone through to be sitting here today that you aren't even aware of? And if you don't know the person sitting next to you, well, I believe you just found yourself a new person to introduce yourself to. Now, in those few moments of looking at the person sitting next to you, did the color of their skin influence the way you perceive them? If so, no, that shouldn't be the case. As I said before, and I'll say it again, the capability of a person is not limited by the color of their skin, but the effort they put into their work. Going off this, I had the amazing opportunity to travel to Peru this past summer with the Global Health Initiative. And it was here that I was quickly humbled. I thought I had it rough growing up. I quickly realized that wasn't the case when I traveled to the various cities in Peru. It was here that I was met with some of the hardest workers I will ever come across. Working from a small office and going out to work hands-on with the community, the GHI team worked diligently with little rest and little pay. But that never stopped them from pouring their heart out into their work on a daily basis. When you realize that toilet paper and hand soap is rarely found in restrooms, when you see that many streets are littered with human waste and never picked up, when you see the disparity in public health, when you interact with abused mothers with a small room for a house, and when you are told the story of seeing your son die right in front of you to a landmine due to terrorism, it offers you a reality check. These were just a few of the many experiences I had in my time in Peru that have had a lasting impact on me. But you know something? Despite their struggles and all the hardships thrown at them, every person I met came at me with an open heart and with a smile on their face. Let this guide you the next time a rainy day comes. No matter how rough it may get, you just need a smile. No matter how rough it may get, all you need is an open heart to get through the day, and the smiles will quickly follow. My freshman year, I had the opportunity, my apologies. My freshman year, I had many of these rainy days. From almost dropping my fraternity in college due to having no sense of belonging, to being called a spick on my way to Valero, which filled me with unease the remainder of my freshman year. However, that's where us upperclassmen come into play. We serve as the role models for the younger students to look up to. In 2 years, I will be graduated from here, as hard as that is for me to fathom. And next semester, the seniors will be walking across the senior arc themselves. It's these seniors and the class that graduated before them that have helped guide me in my time at Wabash. Jonathan, for example, showed me what a leader could look like during his presidency of La Alianza. And I see all the new faces on campus and realize there is a new era of leaders upon us. So seniors, juniors, let's make sure we're leaving behind a lasting legacy and setting the tone for the next generation as we pass on the torch. Freshmen, sophomores, the world is in the palm of your hands right now. Embrace these next few years at Wabash, for you will surely yearn for them when you graduate. Get active, join new clubs, meet new people, and be the next campus leaders we hope to see from you. Remember, we all have our struggles, but an open heart is all you need. As my mother always told me growing up, put yourself in someone else's shoes before judging them. And you best believe I stand by that to this day, because the last thing you want to encounter is an angry Hispanic mother. Thank you, and have a good day.
Good morning, Wabash. First and foremost, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Sphinx Club for providing me this opportunity to talk to you today. Before I begin speaking some facts, I want to give a couple of thanks to people that helped me get to where I am at today. First, I want to thank the MXI and the Phi Delta brothers. If it wasn't for you guys, I don't think I would have the courage to come up here today. The MXI was the first place I went when I arrived to this college. There is no group on campus I could say called my group. And the MXI did a great job in providing this for me. So thank you. Secondly, I want to give a thanks to all my brothers in La Alianza. You guys are the reason I have a home away from home. I think if it wasn't for everyone's drive and wanting to uplift this club and help other students feel at home, I wouldn't be standing here today. So thank you. Lastly, I want to give a thanks to all the faculty that work so hard to make us succeed. Faculty members work so hard in making sure we as Wabash students succeed, and we sometimes don't realize how much work they put. And that's why I want to give a special thanks to Dean Lamberton, Dean Jones, Brother Kim King, Professor Warner, Professor Rogers, Hugh Vanderveer, and Professor Horton. Thank you. Today I want to talk about three interconnected aspects of our lives: engagement, success, and belonging. These elements are not just important to our college experience, but resonate throughout our entire lives. Engagement. When we engage with others, we open doors to lifelong relationships, learning experiences, and personal growth. Just think about it. Every person you meet has a story to tell, experience to share, and wisdom to impart. Engagement is a two-street. It's just about sharing your story, but also listening to stories of others. We often find that through these connections, we gain new perspectives, acquire knowledge, and establish bonds that last a lifetime. I would say that it is the purpose of pledgeship. It is supposed to serve as an avenue to help you engage in that support system. The Sphinx Club is a testament to the power of engagement as it brings us all together, fostering connections that enrich our lives, whether it is a sporting event or this chapel talk. The Sphinx Club looks at bringing us all together with a spirit of loving this campus. Success is another vital component of our journey. However, it is not solely defined by the external measures, but by our ambition, goals, and inner drive that propels us forward. Success is not handed to us. It is earned through dedication and determination. We have brothers by our sides, right? We are not just friends, but as pillars of support. Together, we strive for greatness. Success is about wanting to do something passionately that you are willing to work tirelessly for it. Some alums mentioned yesterday, we got to put some points on the board. Our very own La Alianza exemplifies this spirit as we are collectively working to uplift and empower the club. Now, I wouldn't say our success just comes from dedication and determination. It comes with love. I think if it wasn't for love we had towards this club, the success would not be present. When I was president of the club, I always worried about the outcomes of the events. I was worried about the hermanos not wanting to get engaged. But that's something that quickly I realized was not the case for me. As the president, I often felt seen as someone who has the courage to answer any questions and lead efficiently. And let me tell you, adding that aspect of love into your presidency, into that position that you hold, can uplift you way more and make you a leader and help make you and the people around you leaders. As a leader, if you want to make people happy, you got to be happy around them, and you got to lead by example. Sitting around and complaining about how many meetings you have, there's nothing productive. It only promotes negativity. When I was president and Ryan, for a split second, I felt like the world was against me. I quickly learned that love was the main factor driving me to the success, and thus I sit here today wanting to spread that love to you guys. belonging. Belonging is a warm embrace that makes our journeys worthwhile. At Wabash, we believe that there is a place for everyone, and it is our duty to ensure that those around us feel like they belong. It is about being inclusive, understanding, and being empathetic. We must be aware of ignorance and stereotypes that can hinder true belonging. Now let's take a moment to talk about the term Latinx. While the intentions behind the term is to be inclusive, it can unintentionally categorize diverse cultures. Just because individuals share a language does not mean they share the same culture. Just because we speak Spanish did not mean we all like eating tacos and listening to Bad Bunny, although they are very good. We are all different in our own ways, and we have our own culture. A Mexican-American from Chicago is not the same as a Mexican-American from Texas. A Brazilian is not the same as an Argentinian. We need to stop promoting the idea of categorizing people under one. We must appreciate and celebrate the richness of culture within the broader Latino and Hispanic community. Belonging is about reaching out to someone, asking them how they are, asking them how they're doing in school. It is not solely about their skin color. It is about recognizing and respecting the unique aspects of each person's identity. Whether your friend is from Mexico, Colombia, Bolivia, Veracruz, Venezuela, in all these places, their individuality must be cherished. Belonging is not about fitting into a single mold. It's about celebrating our differences and recognizing that diversity is our strength. In closing, it's truly an honor to stand before such a remarkable group of individuals who understand the importance of unity and community. Before we part ways, I'd like to take a moment to emphasize the significance of gratitude and acknowledgement we've shared here today. I thank the MXI for providing me a sense of belonging when I needed it the most. That's why I really got involved with La Alianza. I wanted to bring that factor in to the Hispanic and Latino students here at Wabash. And I feel like we did a good job. I express my appreciation to my brothers in La Alianza for unwavering support that has made me who I am today. I am extending a heartfelt thank you to the dedicated faculty and staff who work tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure our success. Make sure you give faculty a thank you. The core themes of engagement, success, and belonging that we've discussed aren't just confined to our college experience. They resonate through our entire lives. Engagement reminds us of the power of human connection and stories that unite us. Success we've seen isn't about determination. It is also fueled by love and desire to uplift each other. I think we lost a lot of that during COVID, and I do not blame you guys. I think it is coming up as men and understanding that we got to be each other's carriers. Belonging is about recognizing the diversity of our strength, and true inclusion transcends stereotypes and categories. Let us carry forward the lessons of engagement, success, and belonging on our journeys ahead, both here on campus and in the wider world. Together, we can build a brighter and more inclusive future for all. Let's get some points on the board. Thank you.
Good morning, Wabash. I like his buenos dias too. I wish I knew another language I'd say that too. But I just want to take one quick minute and just give these two a round of applause again. They're incredible for what they've done, and they're incredible for getting up here today. So. Also, just for my curiosity, if you are part of La Alianza and you're in here today, can you stand real quick? Beautiful. Mostly it's to make you stretch, but also I want to see who was here. Thank you, guys. Before I get into my main points, I want to give you a bit of context around myself and my experience at Wabash. I'm class of 2013, and I want to share something that might resonate with you all. Wabash changed my life. It changed my trajectory. It took me to a place where I was not really in a great high school, and it provided me the education to catch up to be a really good student, person, and eventually a teacher. I started off my career as a teacher, 7th and 9th grade, loved it. It also has helped me in my career in corporate America, to climb the different ladders, to interview. When I talk about Wabash, I talk about all my friends, of course, all the silly days at the Lou, the cactus, and everything else in between. But I also talk about the support that they give you here. If you've never been to the career service, you need to go. I love the career service. They taught me so much about interviewing, so much about resume writing, so much that I still teach people to this day things that they taught me. The Writing Center, and the professors that were willing to build a lifelong relationship with me. And I promise, the Writing Center and the career services did not sponsor this talk, but I'm serious. They are a good service. I'm going to talk a lot about support and what has been given to us and opportunities and to myself in the past. I was the president for Unidos por Sangre, which was previously, or is now, Alianza. I was given an opportunity to lead young as a freshman and sophomore. That helped me develop leadership skills quickly, a lot of different skills like project management, organization, how do you set up a table and put pan dulce outside while also being a student and figuring things out? How do you lead others and get them towards the same direction? That's what Wabash gave me. So most of my memories are happy memories. But I would not be a critical thinker if I did not actually say that they were not all good memories. The not so good memories come mostly from when I was the UPS president. We had a lot of things that were great during this time, but in 2009 when I started, we did not have a great structure in place for Latino men to be successful here. We did not have the first-gen programs or other support or mentor programs that I heard of so far. In a very true first-gen fashion, we figured it out. We found a way, and we made it. The frustrations that came were a lot about UPS and the situation we found ourselves in. One of them was, if you don't know, we actually used to have a space in Detchen Hall, which was a small office. The people before me fought for that space. And little did I know, my class would have to fight for that space again when the college attempted to take it away. The other things is that we didn't have a lot of professors who shared the Latin American identity that we had. We had great sponsors, I'm not belittling them. It is just different to have someone who shares that same identity, and if they were on campus, they were not given tenured or let go for reasons that we didn't necessarily believe in. We protested, we shared our frustrations, and some things changed, some things didn't. And these situations, also with the lack of support system for us as Latino men, was really difficult for me to stay here long term. Obviously, I'm here, I am an alumnus, we got there, but it was not without the support of important people who stepped up for me, because there was not a support system there quite yet. You heard these gentlemen talk about a lot of different things about feeling out of place, feeling like they didn't belong, and finding their space. Kudos to reaching out and talking about the Malcolm X Center, because my freshman year, I also had big brothers that were seniors at the Malcolm X Center that helped me out, that took me under their wings. So just know, I'm sharing this today. You're like, Alejandro, you're bringing down the place. I'm sharing this today for a reason. I want you to know that I'm being critical of the situation, I'm being critical of Wabash, but it doesn't mean I don't love Wabash. I love this place. This place has changed me for the better. You can ask, where is he? Kim King. You can ask Kim King how much I begged him, please let me in this college. I want to go here so bad. I was supposed to go to Bloomington. I already had accepted it. And I met Wabash, and I was like, this is the place for me. So I want you to keep that mindset in the top of your head as I kind of talk about what a proud Wabash man like myself believes and knows that things are better today than they were before. But they can get better. And how can we do that? So with my time left, I'm going to spotlight the incredible work and efforts that the Hermanos of Alianza have done. And I also want to hopefully inspire you all to take some actions leaving here today. So for those of you who don't know, a little quick history lesson. I'm a history major, I'm sure Dr. Warner will tell you. UPS, or Unidos por Sangre, was an active organization when I was on campus. A few years after I left, it became dormant. The class who came after those eventually wanted that kind of brotherhood, that place where they belonged. And that's where the Brothers of Alianza refounded the organization and renamed it. That's an important thing because they've rebuilt it, renamed it, but they kept us all involved. The group of Hermanos of Alianza have carried the baton that we started and people before us started to new heights. We never had that many members. That's why I also want to see that. I have heard the events you're doing. I've seen you in Chicago. You all are doing great things. I want to highlight a few things that I see as an alum. First, start today. How many of you have ever seen La Alianza at chapel before? Speaking. A few of you? During my time, I've never seen it. This is the first time I actually see that we have this space in place. It doesn't happen just out the blue. I'm sure the Sphinx Club and members of Alianza had to do some background, thinking and maneuvering to make sure that we have this space today. So that's a great achievement. Thank you to you all. Second, they revived a dormant organization. Do you know how hard that is? To grab an organization that doesn't exist anymore and bring it back to life. They did it and did it even better and stronger than we ever did. They now have a full membership kind of process. They also have dues. And they invested in young members. You just heard from these two gentlemen. They invested in each other. I think we lack that. In order for it to continue, you need to invest in the small folks, the folks that are coming behind you, to make sure that they continue. So if there's any freshmen here that are in La Alianza or thinking about it, I hope they come for you and make sure that they give you responsibilities and build you up. And third, they engaged alumni. And I'm not talking about alumni who come to the football games, come at homecoming. I'm talking about the alumni that you probably have never seen. There are alumni who leave Wabash and don't really come back for different reasons. Sometimes it's travel, sometimes it's they weren't as engaged. I'm one of them. I came back, then COVID stopped, and I didn't really go back and forth. But I got re-engaged by these gentlemen. They called out to me, did better outreach than Wabash has done. For 8 years after Wabash, I never donated to this college until they re-engaged me. And they were passionate. They had ideas, and they wanted to know about me. So for the past 2 years, I've been donating. That's what I'm talking about. They've done some incredible work. Do you know how hard this is? Have any of you ever started an organization that was dead and nobody wanted to be part of it? Nobody wanted to take the leadership of starting it again? That's hard. Have you ever instilled a membership and convinced people to pay you money? College students. That takes effort and time. Wabash can learn so much from these hermanos. The leadership of this group is inspiring, but also it's going to benefit them when they leave Wabash. From my corporate experience and also teaching experience, you will not inherit a team that is perfectly run. Some of you have probably already taken over leadership in your fraternities, organizations. They probably are not perfectly run, right? So you need to do the work to reinvest people, to invest in the people who are new. These gentlemen have done it. You should talk to them, see how they did it, collaborate and share ideas. Pay attention to these young men. I'm here first and foremost so that Wabash sees them as I see them as an alumnus. Sorry, Dr. Lamerton. And I'm also here just to say that I'm extremely proud of them. I'm extremely proud of all the hermanos of Unidos, or not Unidos por Sangre, you're gonna beat me up later, La Alianza. I know how tough it can be to show up to a place and not feel welcome. And I know how tough it can be to say, this place should have existed, there should have been a space for me already. And that's a failure on me, that's a failure on everyone who comes before you. Despite that, they went ahead and picked up the baton and said, don't worry about it, guys, we got this. And they rebuilt this organization to be something incredible. Again, much stronger and much more involved than I ever saw. So thank you guys. Thank you all who have come before us as the Alianza members. And I just want to take a quick moment and just really thank you all. and say, I love what you've done, I love what you continue to do, and continue. So quick round of applause for Alianza members who have done this. And now's the time where I want to do the second part. I want you all to do something for me. And it's not just one of you, it's not just all of you, or it's all of you. It's the entire community. I want you, my call to action is to make sure that Alianza never fails. Do not let them fail anymore. La Alianza should never be dormant again, ever. This organization should hold a space on this campus moving forward. The gentlemen are doing their best, but we can help. As peers, a lot of you are peers. Quick raise hands just to stretch your hand a little bit. How many of you have ever been to an Alianza event? Oh, I love that. See a lot of hands. Love that. If you've done it, keep going. If you haven't, give it a try. And as peers, get to know them. I heard a lot of good stories here about really connecting with people authentically. How do you do that? You don't have to have the same background. You don't have to come from the same neighborhood. And you should know that that's true. Mexican-American from Chicago is not the same as one from California. I had a roommate. We always argued about different things. I said, this is a party. He said, this is a kickback. I said, whatever. It is what we're going to have a good time. Just know that there are differences. Get to know each other, build those relationships, and be present. Don't just show up for our carne asada. Don't just show up for the food or the pan dulce. Learn something new. Meet something new. Learn something and push yourself outside your comfort zone. The world, whether you know it or not, is becoming more global. The company I work in, I work with people from all the way across the world. Whether you know it or not, it's going to become more important for you to be able to connect with people who are not like you. Beyond Wabash, business world, and everywhere else, you have to be able to connect with people who are not like you. Why not start today? Why not start now? For professors, this is for you all. You can be a trusting adult. And I've heard a lot of stories here that you all are doing that. So great job. But I'm going to reemphasize it a little bit more. Be present and provide support when you need it. For me, Dr. Lamberton was one of those people for me personally. She was always the open door that I went to when I needed something. She also allowed me to convince her to be my advisor when she really wasn't supposed to be. But she did it anyways. She stepped up. I can't thank her enough for the work she did with me, because she was at times my advisor, at other times my therapist. She allowed me to talk about academics, but she also allowed me to talk about my aspirations, my frustrations, which of course you've heard, I had some here. As administrators, you can create an environment where Latinos can be successful. Again, I see it. I see the work that has been done. I see the different support programs. I see the mentors. It's great. I also saw that there's a Hispanic major, which is very exciting to me. That is important. I love that. I also know that the members of La Alianza have a bigger space than the small room in Detchen Hall. So what else can be done? How can we improve this? Well, here are some questions for the administrators and the leadership here today. Just some questions to ponder and maybe move it forward. Do we have professors that are tenured and share a similar background to those of La Alianza members? If not, why not? 10 years ago, we asked for that when we graduated in 2013. If that hasn't happened yet, how can we make sure that it doesn't go another 10 years without that happening? A bigger space, is that possible? All of us want a bigger space, right? Any fraternity here doesn't want a bigger house? Right? Yeah. So with the members of Alianza, they're starting to outgrow their space. Is it possible to do something better, something bigger? Is it possible to have a staff member that helps them carry the momentum that they've actually put together and built? Maybe. Are we celebrating these men who have done the work to build a space for Latinos at Wabash and members of La Alianza? Are we recognizing them enough? Are we celebrating them enough? Do you listen to them when they give suggestions? Has the administration created a space where they can give open and honest feedback? And then, how are we including them in the strategic plan for the future? How are they being placed in that strategic plan? Questions to think about. Again, critical thinking, thinking beyond the it's good, how do we go to great? For alumni, if you're watching this, hopefully, and all of you who will become alumni as well, we need you to be willing to respond to Alianza members when they reach out. Next time you're on campus, stop by and reach out to one of them and meet them. Talk to them. Go to an event if you happen to be here when there's one. Donate to their annual giving campaign. You may not be part of UPS or La Alianza when you're here. However, you can always help them by sharing your resources and attention and financial assistance if you can. Help sustain the work that these Wabash men have created. They've created a great program, they've created a great organization, help them out. Now for UPS or La Alianza alumni, I'm going to push you even more. I know that the Alianza members are reaching out to you all. So respond to that text message, respond to that email, respond to that call, and get involved. I tell you what, I did not expect to reach back. I did not expect to be here at Wabash ever again, but the work that they did has brought me back into the fold, and I'm excited for what they're doing. Proud, excited for what they've done up to this point. Alumni from UPS and Alianza, come to the alumni events. There's a really cool one. There was a virtual one where I got to see people I haven't seen in years. Do what we can for those brothers so it's a better experience than what we had. And then finally, I'm gonna wrap it up with the last part I wanna say is make sure that we're supporting these men academically. While they're building this very important work of building a space for Latinos at Wabash, make sure that we're also making sure that they're successful. Students come from different backgrounds, different academic kind of levels, and here at Wabash, we're supposed to have people who are willing to step up for these students who may be behind, need a little bit more help, or for some of those who are good and just need a little push to be great. Some of those students who may not see kind of the best path forward, and you get that help. As professors, be willing to put in the work to help them academically. I don't think I see him here, but I want to highlight a young Dr. Novak, a professor who refused to give up on me. I was not great at chemistry, I was not very good, and he did not give up. Every single day you'd see me trying up there to his office for office hours, and every single time he would explain something 2, 3, 4 different ways until I got it. That's the kind of work we need to put in to make sure people don't fail. Make sure that they get it. And it's not just Alianza, it should be for all students as well. And peers and sometimes professors, be willing to help and point out bumps in the road if you see them. I'm talking to seniors, juniors in here. If you see your younger fraternity brothers, Alianza members, that they're going down a path that you're like, that's not gonna be great, help them out, warn them, tell them. I had an experience like this the last course I took for history, probably one of the toughest classes I took here at Wabash. I don't think I would have had as easy of a time passing that class had it not been for one of my peers, Jose Herrera, and Dr. Warner, who suggested a study group. And I said, that's a great idea. I definitely needed it. I'm pretty sure that Jose did not need it. I'm pretty sure that Dr. Warner was also pretty busy and had enough on his plate. But they did this for me. They did this so I would not fail. They saw me and they pointed out that roadblock and they got me forward. So thank you, Dr. Warner, and Jose, if you're listening too. So I asked the Wabash community alumni to support Hermanos of La Alianza by refusing to let them fail. If we do this, this will become even a better place for people from different backgrounds, from different levels of education, from different economical background, to actually come here, feel supported, and be successful. So with that, thank you so much to the Wabash community for allowing me to come here. Thank you to the Hermanos de la Alianza. Thank you to the Sphinx Club. Thank you for allowing me this space and time to share my thoughts, my experience through Wabash. Thank you once again. Para adelante, hermanos, siempre. Thank you.